Welcome to another episode of Big Ego Media. Got a special guest called by the name of OG Milz. How you doing today, bro?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. As we always do with all our interviews, we ask, where are you from? Where did you grow up?
I'm from South East, Woolwich, Shooters Hill to be precise. Nigerian heritage. I am British born, but my parents are from Nigeria.
Yeah. I mean, I live in that area at the moment, and that is basically, people say Peckham is Nigerian, but Woolwich for me is more Nigerian than Peckham. I don't know.
I think of lately Woolwich has become more Nigerian populated. But funny enough, I was born where my parents lived in Lee Green.
Okay.
Then I moved to Nunhead for a bit.
Okay.
Then the estate I was in got knocked down. Then we moved off to Shooters Hill from there.
How old was you at that time?
I just started year 1 or year 2, so I was pretty young still.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, so you grew up in an area, I'm assuming, where the Somalis were kind of heading because I'm in Woolwich now, I don't see no Somalis. I don't see any Somalis, but everyone, I remember growing up, be like, oh, the Somalis run Woolwich and they're everywhere, but I've never seen them. I might see a couple every now and then. Where have they gone?
You're not wrong there, I couldn't tell you where they've gone, Like when my school, I went Kidbrook School, which had a lot of Somalians, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a good point, Where's the Somalis at? I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I can't answer that one for real.
But were there a big presence when you was growing up though in the area?
Yeah, for sure, I wasn't necessarily a Woolwich boy, but I was definitely affiliated, and, people have their own little batches with them. So yeah, I'm big them up, Big them up.
So Somalis are were more so as Woolwich boys. So where would you say Kidbrook? Where you said you grew up? What area did you grow up?
So my school.
Shooters Hill, you said, yeah.
Shooters Hill, which is off of. It's a long road, isn't it? And it's off of Woolwich, so it's like kind of like the borderline from Blackheath to Woolwich itself.
Did they have their own kind of gang there as well that would class as anything, or was it just like kind of Switzerland?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer this one, but there was a few of us. We wasn't a gang, but we was affiliated or members to other sets in it. So Shooters Hill was no man's land, so to speak. Yeah. But every area has its ups and downs.
No, I hear it. So let's talk through your childhood. So you grew up in a household with both your parents?
Yeah, so you know what? I grew up in a 2-parent household. I've got 3 sisters. I'm the second oldest, the only boy in the family. Yeah.
Is there a lot of pressure as the only boy in the family?
The pressure started a bit later, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think I enjoy the perks of being the only boy, so to speak. But then as you get older, they cut you no slack because you're a man, you're a boy, you're just meant to get over it. There wasn't, this is how I feel, this is this and that, so...
So you say that, so like, was it a thing that where, because you're the only boy, you wasn't expected to do any house chores, I'll be like your sister's cooking and anything like that?
I wouldn't say that, On Saturday mornings, before you could watch wrestling or even make a breakfast, the house needs to be in tip-top, And I'm actually grateful for that because it's habits I actually still do now. Yeah. Maybe not every Saturday, but I know to myself every now and then, this place needs to get patterned, So, yeah.
No, I hear it. So, you grew up in a 2-parent household. What was your parents like? Were they strict? Would you have a bit more liberty?
They'll probably laugh when they see this, but they were strict growing up, almost like boot camp type upbringing. But it's so funny now because my sisters, they've got kids, and to see how they are with them, I just laugh sometimes, innit? But you learn, innit? And as I've got older, I realised they were still learning, they were still growing as well. So I don't hold certain things personal.
Yeah. So how was you like academically in school? Like, what were you top set? Struggled a little bit?
I was above average for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll take it back. I was above average from primary school. I didn't really have too much behavioural problems then, though I was a bit troublesome. I actually had this incident, I was the first person to get detention in my primary school.
Okay,
it's
wow.
nothing to be proud of, but you don't forget things like that, Then when I went to secondary school, I started off in the top set. Then behaviour, they bring you down classes when your behaviour is not, to par, innit? So...
So I mean, let's talk through that quickly. Like getting detention, you're the first time person in school.
Yeah.
I'm assuming when you got home, your parents made you feel it.
Alright, so let me give you some content. Yeah, we was playing football, and I collided with some other guy. Yeah, shout out Yobo. Yeah, I had a head injury, so my head was bleeding.
Yeah.
And he's told the teacher that I've done it to him deliberately.
Yeah.
So they just said that I needed 30 minutes detention. They just started it that day.
Okay.
They gave me 30 minutes detention. So obviously they sympathised with me because I came back with a bandage and a wound on my head.
Okay.
So I got away with that one, but
I hear it.
Yeah.
So when you kind of started getting into sort of secondary school, when are you kind of start looking at the roads as a viable kind of option at the time?
Right, that's a good question, because you see from the jump, like from year 7, I can definitely say I was affiliated off the rip, like. R.I.P. Strange one, that was my guy in it, because from year 7, I think it was a bit later in it, but I don't know, I built a little foundation, a little relationship with certain members in it, so you don't have to be a gang to be gang affiliated. I keep using that word because that's what it was. So year 9, I'm still doing my thing, a bit troublesome, but it wasn't nothing, no badness in it. Now, when we get to year 10 now, so there's a few stories, I have to mention it because it shows how I kind of went, my path. And I was with my cousins, I was with 3 of my cousins. It was in Elephant and Castle, innit? 4 of us got moved to, bruv. Like, bruh, man, I would call it the perfect move to, because it's 2 man up here, they're 2 man up, we're 4 man. We're just going to go meet my mum at Nando's. My man's just back to a knife. He was like, oh, what have you got, this and that. But he's saying put it back in your pockets. I'm thinking, okay, he's seen man's innocent.
At this point, you're not even on the road, you're just like an innocent kid.
Not even on the road. I'm hood-wise, but I'm thinking, I thought it was only happened to gang members, so to speak. You know what I mean? So as he said that, he just said, everyone, bring out your thing, didn't he? He just did a little swipe. And after, he just made his way off, innit? And it is what it was, innit? We met up with my mum. I remember being upset because my cousins, they're not idiots, innit? But I'm probably the most affiliated, innit?
Yeah.
But I couldn't do nothing. I was actually the youngest out of four of us. Not that I could have done nothing, but when you just, I don't know, I was just thinking to myself, right, anybody can get it. Literally. So that changed a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? But I still navigated in it. Then another incident happened in year 11 or maybe year 10, and R.I.P. Raphael, because he got kicked out of school. He's a year older than me.
Yeah.
Now I've seen him at my road, I'm just about to go home. I'm with my boy Aaron at the time. You know what I mean? He can see he's furious. He's running towards us, innit? But I'm thinking surely he can't be on that man's one with me, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He just come grabbed man like he took my phone, innit? But he ran off. This will happen in 30 seconds. So I'm even standing there thinking he's gonna run back and give me my phone. Which obviously didn't happen, innit? But you see, when you're really innocent, you look a man in the face and you're like, a man still does it, you know what I mean? That honestly turned me to a savage, you know what I mean? And I've seen him later on, before he passed, innit?
Yeah.
R.I.P. But I can't lie, that turned me into a savage. So going into year 11 now, I had an incident, I broke into the double gyms, innit? So there was a younger year in it, so I robbed everybody's phones, robbed everyone's P's. You know what I'm saying?
How did they find out it was you?
The cameras, but then again, I think I got snitched on because I was handing out phones in class. The same guy that robbed me, I handed him a sick phone as well, you know.
And this is the day before pins, I'm assuming.
Definitely, there was Samsungs, Nokias, and it was on Monday. You know how I know everybody had their P's, bro? I was up, you know. I was up. But let me take it back a bit. There was a point I do want to highlight, yeah, before everything kind of went AWOL, wasn't it? I was in my entrepreneur bag from young.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people got that selling snacks in school story, but my mum used to help me, and we used to go in, like, buy things at wholesale, you know. And I remember I was like the first one my age that had a grand, I think in like year 10 or something.
Yeah.
It's not something I went back saying, innit, but I realised a lot of people didn't have money like that, innit?
Yeah.
So I say that because then that sparked of, you know, a mindset that later on came to my advantage, innit?
I hear it.
So, yeah.
So, you rubbed the phones and you're being kicked out at school now?
I've been kicked out just before my GCSEs.
What your parents said of this?
You know when they're so disappointed they can't even beat you. At that point, I learned that, yeah, they were just so disappointed, you know. I went to a centre, madness happened there, couldn't go centre. But they let me come back from my GCSEs though, and I did well, you know. I got 6 A to C's.
Okay.
You know, I passed in subjects that was really my passion, like graphic design, media studies, and the rest.
I hear it. So, as you're being kicked out of school just for your GCSEs, technically you're on the road now. What's life saying?
Well, I'm in and out of the streets, yeah. I started shotting at some point, innit? Shotting weed, yeah. But I'm still going college. I finished college. I went uni. I dropped out of uni though, to pursue the streets again, which is a dumb decision in hindsight, you know.
I mean, what did you go to study at uni? Where did you go?
Graphic design, business at UEL, University of East London.
Okay.
And I built a firm team of creatives there, you know, which were still good veterans now.
Yeah.
But you know, I was a bit ahead of the class as well. You know, but they formed their own group. They even had a brand, you know. So I was left alone in it. There was nothing to come back to.
Yeah.
I did try to come back as well. You know, things would just progress on the streets, and yeah, when I left there, I then went head on to the streets for real.
So you're in the streets, just selling drugs, I'm assuming, you're hustling?
So, before I was a hustler, so to speak, I was a stick-up kid, didn't it?
Okay.
And again, I relate back to that story because I just, like, it was almost like a spare no one like mindset, innit? Like, just trying to get ahead of the game, you know? So, yeah, I was just sticking up the place, so to speak, innit?
Was it like in your own hood, or was it people from different areas? How did it work?
You know what's crazy? It was mainly in my own hood, like, and that's the sad part because there wasn't much structure to it. I'm not watching a film and trying to imitate something. I'm trying to get ahead of the game anyhow, you know, anyway. And you know what? Yeah, 2 days ago I saw one guy, you know, that man, you know, man did like, you know, got away with couple Zeds, yeah. I see him in Stratford, Westfield. You know what I mean? And he came up to me, he's like, oh, do you remember me? Whatever. You know what I mean? And we shook hands, like, before he even said that, you know when you look in, like, but I'm thinking, because a lot of people know of me than I know them,
Yeah.
So when he said that, I'm just like, look at this. Imagine if it was 10 man up or something. You know, but he, like, we're all grown now, innit? You know what I'm saying? And I felt bad. I felt bad for the youth, you know? I felt bad for the youth because he was there with his kid, you know. I think his missus must have been about.
Yeah.
But he just reminded me, innit? And I didn't apologise, but we laughed it off. I should have apologised though, because I'm grown, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know how that affected him for real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And I mean, at this point, you're robbing everyone. Is it bringing you trouble in the streets?
Yeah, so I'm in Glendon Estate in Plumstead. A lot of people from that area know that estate well. So I got stabbed in my leg twice.
Okay.
So I robbed one guy, his uncle, innit?
Yeah. For food again?
Yeah, definitely. So when that happened, I've come back to the estate because I did it barefaced. You know, it's a messed up mentality, innit? Because I don't know if it's because of what I've been through or I just genuinely didn't care, innit? But there's certain people I didn't care, like, you're getting robbed and that's just that, innit?
Yeah.
So that happened. I've got, like, 2 weeks later, I've gone to an estate And there's 20 of these youths, you know, they're not ops, but they're just a different batch from the same area, we just chilling.
Yeah.
So they've just walked around. Before you know it, there's 20 men just surrounding me. Then one of them is just like, oh, what, you robbed my uncle, this and that. Straight away, and I knew like the pattern in it. Couldn't get out of it.
Did you know it was who he was talking about as well?
When he said it,
yeah,
definitely did. And then you know what, I remember I had a moment, I was just thinking like, raw, you gotta fix up like. I don't know, but I remember I had a moment thinking, analysing the situation, like, right, because I thought, you know, you got to think sometimes, am I going to die out of this, you know what I mean? And I thought, what, over 2.5, bro? I thought my life's got to be worth more than this, you know, so a scuffle happened, you know, I got stabbed, I crawled into some front, I was crawling past her front garden or front yard, and she and some other kids pulled me in it.
Yeah.
Then kind of fought them off. Well, it wasn't that bad, it was like my lower leg innit, but it was a lot of blood. You know,
I mean, you say that, I got Wesley, so my friend Anthony, a nurse, he got stabbed in the leg and died. So people say, oh, just got a leg wound, but yeah, no, that can actually kill you, especially if you hit artery as well.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even take it lightly for real though, but I didn't even know I got stabbed.
Yeah.
But I was stumbling. Then when I turned to the wall and I saw the blood spot in the wall, reality kicked in. Reality kicked in.
At that point, did you end up go to the hospital?
Yeah. So they took me to the I think the police even got there first. But nevertheless, I've just gone to Queen Elizabeth Hospital, got patched up. I think I left the day after. And my girl at the time, she came down. So I didn't even tell my parents. No, my sister didn't know until like a couple of days after.
Yeah.
You know, because I grew up in a Christian house, so not that changes a lot, but you know, when you're on the streets doing certain things, you know, you live two lives, so to speak. You know what I mean? So yeah. Nah, I didn't lie to them, but they took my bag as well. I had my MacBook and my camera. I've always been a media man, innit? So, they took my stuff, my equipment. So I just went with that narrative that, look, I got stuck up, they took my bag. So not telling her the full details.
So afterwards, like, are you thinking in your head, it's a get back thing, or you like, you know what, that's karma, let me take that L?
I just kept it going, innit? I just thought if I see them, you know what I mean? Because it took 20, like, not even to chief them up, because they're not really chiefs, innit? But it took 20 men to come do damage. Like, I'm just thinking, but these lot ain't worth my time, innit? Like, if I see them, like, it goes without saying, innit? Yeah. But, I just got, like, because I knew what I did, innit? You know what I mean? I don't want to go look for trouble beyond my control. So, I just kind of let that go. I did see them years later. I saw a couple of them years later. I was with my niece, I was down the road from my mum's house. And this day I had another reality check because these lot was still trying to do me in front of my niece.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I'm holding my niece because, like, I couldn't run back to the yard because that just put everyone at danger.
Yeah.
You know, so, the way it happened, you know, it was a little standoff. You know, they're barking at the car. Before you know it, then traffic built up. There was a lot of people.
So you reckon they would have done you right in front of your niece? Man,
I mean, I don't know. Either they were putting a good act on, or, you know what I'm saying, it is what it was, isn't it? You know? Like, 3 of them trying to jump out the car, one's holding one back. The usual mad thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And then at a later point, you was also shot. Yeah,
so I wasn't shot directly, So if you know about shotguns, and the barrels and whatnot, So a tire, this is one of these chronicles, innit? But we just in there, we're not meant to be in this hood, in this ends. Someone's come shot at, there's 3 of us, innit? Can I speak on this? Anyway, so he shot one between both of us. I ran towards the car. He shot the tire in it, and I think it's gone through the tire or it's bounced off of it, but it's hit me 3 times about my ankle, innit? Okay.
You love getting a leg shot, innit?
So that thing, it swept me off my feet.
Wow.
I was running as well, but bro, my body hit the floor before my legs did, bro. Wow. Yeah. And the noise of the tire was so loud, I remember that.
Were you guys just gonna check people, or is a deal gone wrong using different ends?
How can I explain this? So you see that when people up country and that, you got the people that come there to set foundations to, sort people out.
Oh, this is out in country, okay.
Yeah, so I just came there, innit, but I'm part of the people that will do the reinforcing.
Yeah.
Make sure this bloke ain't trouble in this one type thing. So we've just inherited someone else's madness, but we expected it because obviously they tell you these things, innit?
Yeah.
But it happens so randomly. I think we just finished eating or something, so you can imagine we're just walking kind of too casually, but the car's pulled, he's drove, he's slowed down, and he's just reversed. And yeah, all I heard was the loud shots, innit?
And at this point, you have to go to the hospital again.
Yeah. This, I mean, it wasn't so bad, so to speak, because they didn't even need to stitch it, but they just dressed it. But it was, the recovery period is a bit nuts because every time you wore socks or something over it, it just peels the skin in it.
And then another incident as well about the roof. You gotta talk through that.
So this is a bit later down the line, you know what I mean? Like things have evolved now, innit? There's bags and boxes, so to speak, innit? So I've got I don't know, 3 people have just kicked in the trap that man's in. 2 of them got helmets on. And I'm punching so hard at this guy in the helmet, innit? But after some time, I'm you know what I mean? They giving it as well, you know what I mean?
What, this is in country again or local?
Someone in Essex.
Yeah.
So I've worn myself out because you can imagine how many times I'm gonna punch a helmet, you know what I mean? I've gone to the balcony now. Before you know it, I've got thrown off a balcony.
What, through the fight?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
When you go to the balcony though, is it you trying to escape them or?
Do you know what? It's hard to even say, you know. But I've got my back against the balcony, so slowly I just ended up there, innit?
Okay.
But I'm sure if I know me, I'm just trying to. I'm just trying to get away from the one who's going the maddest. So I don't know. I could have done it because I wouldn't do it on purpose, thinking about it, because they will throw you off. So it's like, I don't know. But I've ended up there, innit? I'm exhausted. I'm just getting left, right. So I've had a fracture on both of my legs. I got like metal. Like 3 bits of metals in it on each of my foot.
So how high up was you?
Second floor.
So what you done? You're backing up to the balcony and it's going to just tilt you over.
I tell you what, I you know that motion when you fall in your sleep.
Yeah.
That's all I remembered, and I woke up in hospital.
Oh, wow, you was unconscious.
I woke up in hospital. Yeah.
So at this point, that's like 3 life-threatening situations.
Yeah.
At this point, you're like, no, that's a hat trick, I'm tapping out. Or was you still not so sure?
Ignorant is bliss, man. And you know what, I'm not gonna lie to you, honestly, I don't know why, but honestly, I didn't feel like I was gonna live past 25.
Okay.
And that is so messed up, because you're literally just a crash out at that point, I don't know. I couldn't tell you why that came. I don't know if it's because of the life I chose to live. But honestly, I didn't really think I was going to live that long. But, thank God for growth in it,
So, but after your transition, I'm assuming you're trying to go legit, you're trying to do things differently.
Yeah, so okay, my oldest sister, when her daughter was born, Tia, I made a decision in it that I'm gonna try to change things up. I got a job. I worked on a railway for some time. So that was a change. It was a bit of distance in it, so it wasn't in my local area. There was different faces, and I did that for a couple years. But I met a girl there, innit, was in a full-on relationship. She got pregnant. She lost a baby, and that relationship just went left, innit. So I just left the whole thing, left the relationship, left the job, all of that. But I went back to selling loud again, innit, you know what I'm saying? So after that, so speed things up, because obviously you have a little this and that in between, but to speed things up, during lockdown, during lockdown, so there was this girl like in my local estate. She's got loud from someone else, but she see me driving in and flagged me down. So I've let her jump in the car. So we drove down in it. I can't really say where in it, but we've driven down the road, yeah. And if you know lockdown when it first started, yeah, feds weren't playing at all, mate.
Yeah.
Like they weren't playing at all. They pulled up, did a mad thing. She's got weed in her pocket. You know, they've grabbed her right. You could just see she turned red. You know what I mean? She started saying, well, she didn't get nothing from me. I'm just giving her a ride. You know, she's going to say, this guy, you know what I mean? He's the guy.
What, you?
Yeah, she's saying too much. You know, I've got a little something packed away, yeah, which is undetectable. But when she's done all of that and they've actually found there was something, they do the due diligence and boy, did they find something enough to go back to my main place and they find them, you know, find the mad thing. But, so yeah, when they took me to I'll tell you the story. Yeah, I got put in handcuffs. They took me to my house. There's about 8 officers in it. I think one was outside the door. I'm in the bedroom. I got beat out in handcuffs in it.
Oh, wow.
I got beat out because they were asking me questions. I said, look, what are you looking for? Is in the kitchen drawing it? Let's just cut the rubbish in it. Bro, they packed me in, bro. I must have lost consciousness at one point because I've ended up from the bedroom to the front. You know what I mean? But that case, I ended up getting put on tag and probation. There was cracks in that case as well because, you know, had just some officers explain the body cams being off at the same time.
Yeah. And
little stuff like that. I didn't have to say you did anything, but, you know, it worked out in my favour. You know, I was given another chance for real. But before that, was that before? No, this was, okay, so before I had before I had court, yeah, for that same thing, yeah, I had a car crash, you know, innit?
Wow.
Yeah, so that car crash, yeah, was actually a failed suicide.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, so that's the first time I'm ever saying that. I can't even believe I'm saying it, but I got a book coming at the end of the year, innit, which there's gonna be, you know, a lot of insight to it, the build up, you know, when PTSD is at its finest. You know, it is weakness, let's not even have it wrong, but, you know, even tough people find it hard to keep tough all the time, you know what I mean? And madness happened the day before that, but I'll keep that story a bit exclusive. So yeah, forward from that now, a year later, my aunt, you know, may she rest in peace, she died from cancer, innit?
Okay.
And her ordeal was a bit stretched, so it was over like the course of a couple of months. You know, and what I took from that experience is like, you know, look at somebody that will do anything to keep themselves alive, innit? And I'm here trying to throw mine away, innit? You know? So yeah, she died, yeah. And 2 months later is when I started my clothing brand, you know.
I mean, not just to skip it over, because a lot of men do go through these things, and they say men don't speak. They go through their sorrows and troubles, and who can they really speak to? Yeah. I mean, to the point of you nearly writing yourself off, literally, is that, why do you feel that you was at such a low place?
Because I was at a low place, you know. There's no, I only have sisters, I ain't got brothers, so to speak, innit? You know, I'm not an emotional type like that, but, you know, just a lot of built up stuff, innit? Like I said, the madness happened the day before, you know, just feeling fed up. Like, it was a lot of PTSD and a lot of, you know, I don't know if it was a mental breakdown, I would say. But, yeah, man just really was at a low place, you know, breaking point, you know.
And who do you turn to at that point? Do you turn to religion? Do you just suck it up?
You know, God had to break me down to build me back up, innit, you know, so, you know, I had to battle a lot of stuff by myself. I had to build myself. I had to know who I really want to be, you know. And I left the street after that case, that last case and that car crash. I turned my back on the streets, you know, without having my back against the wall, you know. I left that free will. Things were picking up though, don't get me wrong. Like, man's making a change of this. I could have gone back and been in a better place, innit?
Yeah.
But I let that seizure, what they seized and everything, innit? You know, I literally left the streets with nothing. And that's a good, that's a point I want to drive at, innit? Because some people do leave with something anyway, but my story, I left with nothing. All of that for nothing, basically.
And I say this all the time myself. I say that I can only really count on maybe one hand people that was renowned for being in the streets that got away with it and done something mad with it. Everyone else just got regular jobs now, or they try something new, or they're being an entrepreneur. So the streets is a bit of a lie. The only person that really gets away with things for a long time is the plug, and eventually they get bagged as well.
Yeah, you know, everyone's gonna learn their own way, innit? You know, a lot of us men, black men, we tend to have to learn the hard way, innit? It's what you learn from it, though. You know what I'm saying? Because the position I'm in now, I'm able to talk to these youths, this and that. It gives my experience a bit of purpose now, because it didn't just happen for no reason. You know, they resonate with what I'm saying. That a lot of them that know me, they know I'm not an idiot, innit? So when they hear these things, they think raw. So even you can experience these things. I've heard it, innit? So I know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, so let's go through to positivity now then. So talk us through Milligang. I see the brand there, you're wearing it.
Yeah.
So tell us what's the meaning behind it.
Original G clothing, and you know, in hindsight we changed the meaning of the OG, which is original gangster, to an original G. You know, something a lot of people, anyone can relate to. Milligang is for, you know, for everyone aspiring to be millionaires, you know. It says 1 in a million, believing that you're, you know, set aside to stand out. So yeah, you know, we've done. I started that 2 months after my aunt died. You know, I sat down, I had a conversation with myself. You know, I said, you know what, I'm actually gonna give myself a chance before I go back to the streets. I'm gonna, you know, give myself a chance. You know, there's a lot of other stories as well, like, but the book is coming at the end of the year. Look out for that. But yeah.
So with the brand that you're distributing it now, you're doing it locally. You want to take it national? How's it working?
So we plan to take it abroad for sure. You know, we've done collaborative works at Milan for a pageant show. We've had a collab with Foot Locker and Motive UK. Shout them out every time, because they didn't have no reason to do it, but you know, they saw the passion and man's work rate, and they recognized me for that. You know, that alone was very rewarding. You know what I'm saying? You know, really put batteries in my back for real. And we've been we sponsored Motive UK 2 years in a row for Carnival. Yeah. You know, I don't know if there'll be a part 3, but you know.
They owe me money still, Motive. They messed up my minibus.
Oh yeah.
They took my minibus 2 years ago. Was you on that bus as well? Yeah.
I think I was.
Yeah. They took the minibus, the back of the handle. I don't know who they let people jump on the back, but it is what it is, man. Shout out them, man. Still. But yeah, so also I can see the drinks on the table and the fruit shot. Put them on the camera so we can see.
This is the Key Factor at the Key Factor UK on Instagram. This is Benji's. Welcome to Benji's on TikTok and Instagram. The Key Factor one, the detox juice, you know, promoting health and well-being. You know, I don't like to make it race-based, but you know, a lot of us black people deal with high blood pressure, diabetes, you know, you got prostate cancer, things that people don't want to talk about, innit? And the only way you can really get ahead of it is by looking after your health. So very simply, you know, we offer trial packages, 3 days, 7-day courses. So yeah, just check us out on Instagram. You know, I'll let everyone check it out and see what's for you on there.
What's the inspiration behind it?
So I'm just turning all my passions into a business without even me knowing. So my clothing, I just wanted to wear my own clothes, which is I was wearing my own clothes before it became a brand. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, literally turning my passions into a business now. The health stuff. I was in hospital in December, which I just thought was a flu, but I was hospitalized for like 12 or 10 days. You know, they're telling me my liver. And I'm thinking, I don't even drink. I might smoke, yeah, but I don't even drink. They're telling me that, bro, like, they're telling me it's on, was it red alert or something? They were flushing me out with water constantly for 10 days. So I said, you know what, I got to pattern up, really look after my health, you know.
And also you got the waffle and crepe shop.
The waffle and crepe shop. Welcome to Benji's at Barnhead Station. By the time this comes out, we may have moved, but we're gonna be available for food hire, for a food truck. We're available for parties, catering, for weddings.
So what's the service? What's the food?
So we got the waffles, the crepes, we got hot dogs, we got patties, we got cakes and ice creams, custards, various of things. I think it's more catered down to the person and what they desire also.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do it all down there. So if you're around, check us out. The clothing got a new drop coming back before this summer at Original G Clothing. Yeah, look out for that, man. I don't want to do too much talking because I want their people to see it for themselves. But definitely look after your health. That comes first. Because without health, all of this thing means nothing for them.
Right, you seem to be putting steps in making the right steps in regards to just going legit. How hard has it been turning your back on something you've known to, okay, I can go and get a brick from someone or get a consignment, instead of, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to grind. How difficult has that been?
I like that question, because like that was the toughest battle I've ever had to fight, was me versus me. Having to unlearn. I mean, I can't say I grew up knowing that in it is a life I kind of chose in it, but it was tough anyway. To answer your question very simply, it was tough. It was the toughest thing because you cut off a lot of friends. You cut off these plugs. You're with these cats and that. You have to cut them off, like literally. And if you stand on it, like it was tough, man. But it was. I knew I would get somewhere though, and I knew I was always gonna do something. I've never been an idiot. Like I've been, cause I've been a graphic designer, innit? I don't know if I mentioned that from school, innit? So I was offering services for people from school days, innit? And I was getting paid for it.
Okay.
So even that as a job, my job is to bring your idea and your thoughts to life, innit? So I always knew I was capable of doing something. Work, my pride never let me go broke. So, I would always get a job if I needed to, innit?
Yeah. And there's the truth in it as well. Like someone who was making money, the pride and ego won't let them say, you know what, actually this ain't working and I'm just gonna get a job. Like, really and truly, nobody cares. Yeah, people think, what are they gonna think? No one actually cares. 100%. And the more so, the only people that should care is you and the people you're providing for. You think my daughters will care that, okay, he's working over here now. They just want, as long as you're working, but it's our pride, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You see me, I've had a lot of money and I've had days when I've had no money. So, I don't know, it's like I've got nothing to prove. I never felt like I was proving something to somebody.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't heavy on the damn thing, but I always had my peoples around, innit? I never had to prove nothing to anybody at any point. And I like that about myself for real, because a lot of people become someone they don't even want to be. Yeah. I made bad decisions, but I was always me. So
talk us through the name OG Milz.
OG Milz. So, my name is Benjamin, innit? So there was a time I wanted to rap. So I thought of the name Benjamin Milz, innit? And I used it as an Instagram for some time. So I just shortened it down to Milz anyway. So my right hand at the time, Keys, his brother was called Milz as well, innit? He was getting into passes off of just the fact that we both had the names, innit? So he was my younger for some time, innit? But he was young Milz, I was OG Milz. Okay. So it was given to me, so to speak. It just stuck, and then, it just stuck, literally, OG Milz.
So with the rap career, why didn't you ever kind of pursue it? Was it something that you kind of dabbled? Did you go studio?
Do you know what it is? It took me a long time to figure this out, but you know why? It's because I was so worried about being so much in the public, innit? It's already bad enough a lot more people know me than I know them. Yeah. But imagine doing all of that, you still got to go to a local Tesco. I think because rap, it depends how serious you want to take it, and I ain't trying to get bait for no reason. Yeah. However, I am gonna put out some tracks out there. They'll have a purpose in it. They're gonna be soundtracks to certain things. I like to believe man's cold anyway, but it's not something I really want to say that I'm going to do it and, you know, make a career out of it. If that happens, you know what I'm saying, that's good. But man can't rap, man, is cold.
I hear it. Nice. Send some tracks over. I mean, just talking about the music thing again, like, who would you say from Woolwich really kind of bust and took off in the music industry? I can't really name anyone and say, yeah.
Shout out Rumsey, shout out Billy 18, shout out AP36. Shout out Stormer, Mr. Block.
Oh, come on, Colorado.
Shout out Stormer. You see, for me, yeah.
I thought he was going to be the one to take it. Because remember, I've said it before, that was my silly and someone I got a lot of love and respect for. We actually share the same birthday as well, which is crazy. And I remember he played me his mixtape. And so when like he was doing it, but I think him going to Joe at the time, I think that killed his momentum and he was never able to pick that up again.
I agree, yeah.
But he's, to me, was someone that would have been that person. But besides that, for example, I can say, okay, from Edmonton, you've had a Tion Wayne.
Yeah.
From Hackney, you might have had a Margs and the new generation now. But like from Woolwich, I've never kind of had that person where it's been sort of, not hood famous, but known nationally, if that makes sense. That
is true, because I was just thinking about it and I can't lie, I don't think I can name one, innit? But you see, Storm is, in my opinion, I think it was ahead of his time, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like literally doing track after track, video after, and when he did a video on the hood, the whole hood came out. He said that it speaks a lot on his own, innit?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's really like a blueprint for real, you know, like really deep, you know. There's a few people, but I can't lie. Mainstream, I don't know.
So what's on the pipeline for you now? We're nearly halfway through the year. We're actually, let me not push it, we're a quarter way through the year.
Yeah.
So what's on the, no, we're third now, innit? We're April, we're third way through the year. What's left for you for the rest of the year now?
Well, summer's approaching, so we're focusing on the clothing drop. I want to tour Europe with the clothing stuff. I went to Malta last year, you know, and I sold 3 pieces out there, you know, which essentially covered my flight cost. So I came up with the idea that, look, that's how I plan to travel the world. Just go sell merch all over the world and just make my money, but at the least. But you know, you build network.
And you're growing awareness as well.
Of course, you know, I might just giving out my secret right there, but I didn't know how else to answer your question. So I want to travel, I want to get out there. But I find myself doing a lot of community work now. I don't feel obligated, so to speak. But you know, you speak to certain brothers, you know, and it's like speaking to a younger self, innit? And you just know, brother, this ain't gonna work out. You can it works out for some people, you know. But you just know when it's not gonna work out. So I find myself being big bro for a lot of these youths. You know, I've got a charity, All for One group on Instagram. You know, we cater to homeless people. We used to do it every winter, but now we do it like every month, every 2 months. You know, so that's something for them to get as work experience, to be part of something positive. The clothing thing, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them have reached out to me to do collaborative work. It's not that I was very keen on it, but when you hear their story too, I feel like, you know, they deserve an opportunity. I'm not even up where I need to be right now, but I know the little platforms that can bring them on, I definitely do my part for that, you know.
No, I hear it, man.
And then again, you know, we're sponsoring the Greenwich Borough.
Yeah, let's talk about the 32 Bar Cup, man. 32 Bar Cup. Appreciate that. I think last year was Stater.
Yeah.
Stater sponsored Greenwich Borough this year. But that's the thing, again, it goes back to me, like, knowing who's from Greenwich that could sponsor. Because like I said, for the Brent, we had Nines. I could think straight away, Nines. D-Block Europe doing Lewisham. So when it came to Greenwich, I was like, who's the main guy over there, like rapper and so on, and there wasn't anyone I can think of in terms of like a big UK musical name kind of thing. But we appreciate you nonetheless because you've stepped up and you're supporting the young people over there, and people should know it as well. So you sponsor the team, so you're gonna come down on the day if you can. It's on the 22nd of July.
It works in line with, you know, what we aim to do, which is effectively just help the community be there. You know, we love community work, innit, first and foremost. So when I saw the opportunity, it works in line with what we've got. I've got some surprises, but I won't spoil it. I'm gonna show up on the day with my surprises, but Yeah, I'm definitely up for community work. It's the least I feel I can do. I don't feel like it's my duty, but I do it because it's the right thing to do, innit?
No, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. And thanks for coming down today, man. And that there, quickly, where can they find you? Let us know all the socials.
Yeah, OG_Milz with a Z. Follow the clothing, original G clothing, that's G with 2 E's. The Key Factor UK. And welcome to Benji's on Instagram. And brother, thank you for your time. Thank you for having me on this platform. I appreciate your time.
No, thank you very much, man. That there was another Big Ego Media interview. And before I say I'm out, I posted it yesterday. I see a comment on my last interview. Someone said, good episode, but Bobby, just give up interviews, man, because you're not consistent. And I said, you know what? I hear that one. I feel that one. But I've got a lot that I've done. I just not post them up yet because I'm trying to say, let it all be consistent, be put together, then no one can say, I've taken time off. So, I've got you guys in. You guys.
Wait, I got a bone to pick with you.
Go on, tell me.
You got a clothing brand, innit?
Yes and no.
It's called BE Originals.
BE
Original.
No, just on the Instagram it's BU. It's just
I was trolling you one time, yeah. This is so childish. Because I saw BE Original, innit? And our clothing, our slogan is stay true, be original, innit?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I know, and you got a jacket just like this.
Yeah, they're all here.
I was trolling. I was like, I know Bobby didn't get inspired. So I said, I'm going to ask you on camera.
Yeah. No, honestly. So, you know what the B is for?
What's that?
The BE.
No.
Big Ego.
Okay. I just said I will ask anyway.
So that's what it is. So the B is Big Ego. But when I tried to go do the clothing, so I thought, what's a good slogan for the young people? Because Nike got just do it.
Yeah.
I thought, be you. You know that? Be you. Don't try to be someone else. Don't try to pretend. Yeah. Just be you. So I thought, be you Originals.
For sure.
Yeah, but it's there. But with me, what I'm doing right now, let me never give away my secrets, but I'll talk to you off camera and you'll get the pattern.
It's something out though, you know what I'm saying? Because they want to see consistency. Yeah. People do want to see it. Even I want to see it, so yeah.
I hear it, man. Say no more, man. Appreciate you.